you are getting into areas when you're talking about AI where it's just mass abundance on a scale we've really never seen in areas of the economy that have largely been locked because it's powered by humans, and humans are limited in what they can produce a day.
To me, the most interesting side of this, what it means for the labor market, or even how do you size this opportunity? And I was trying to think of the right framework for it, because most things it's pretty clear how to say what the addressable market is. It's unclear to me what the total addressable market is if it can continue to gain human-like skills, right? Like, what is the addressable market for humans?
So later in this video, in case you guys don't know, I record the video first and then the intro last. I actually said the word quintillion. Just thought I'd put that out there now so you're prepared. We're talking about the potential of Tesla's humanoid robot, aka Optimus. Possibly, in fact, almost certainly the biggest and far and away the most consequential opportunity and technology in recorded history. I'm not joking. Ark Invest have some thoughts, and so do I. And FYI, I've just posted an arseload of exclusive content over on Patreon and to my ex-subscribers. Unique content, by the way. Each platform, totally different unique content you won't see anywhere else. There's plenty more in the pipeline as well. So stay tuned for more exclusive videos soon. So if you want more content, click the links in the pinned comment.
We got to talk about Tesla Optimus. Do you see that video that they released?
It's incredible. I mean, it's blowing my mind, like where it's separating the different like giant Lego blocks, the blue and the green.
Yeah, so we'll talk through the video quickly. We can throw it up on video as well.
Yeah.
Robot, they unveiled this kind of a year and a half ago, I think, was the first viewing of it, and they're just making pretty rapid progress.
Rapid progress is a massive understatement. Anyone watching have children? Think about their rate of progress and learning and skill acquisition in the real world by doing. How many with a 6-month-old tell their 6-month-old to sort blocks by color? How about 1 year? How about 1.5? How about 2? 2.5, 3? Right, you get the point. We're seeing in real time the rate of Optimus from a newborn, clunky prototype that couldn't even stand on its own less than 2 years ago when first unveiled to today. Its capabilities are increasing, give or take, roughly as quickly as a fucking human being. Now, admittedly, it's not going to be perfect. There'll be some skills it acquires a lot quicker than others. But the progress we've seen from what many basement dwellers called a stock pump, a non-serious product, is stunning. And the most consequential update of all was learning that Tesla has recently retrained Optimus purely on end-to-end video, just like they did with the FSV12 demo, which took maybe 8-9 months from zero to almost as capable as existing FSD beta, and in some cases much better and smoother. Exact same thing has happened with Optimus Bot. It's now only a matter of time. And as we see continued progress from the Optimus humanoid robot, it's worth mentally comparing its progress, its rate of skill acquisition, its capabilities, its dexterity, its finesse with a human being. It takes most humans, give or take, about 18 years to become fully formed physically. Optimus has a huge head start there. More importantly though, mentally, not until around 25. And then from there, we continue to learn and improve at a very slow rate. Although some of us stop learning and improving well before then.
It's separating out blocks. They mess with it. It can still move the blocks in the correct place. It does some yoga. And they're saying it's totally end-to-end visual learning, which is pretty remarkable in and of itself.
Once again, that awkward moment when I need to point out that describing this as pretty remarkable is a massive understatement. I think it's going to take a few years before people look back and realize the implications of what we've seen. But this breakthrough, training real-world AI, end-to-end, purely video, no heuristics, it's a watershed moment for the progress of AI. In case you guys forgot, give or take 18 months ago, large language models had a massive breakthrough and went vertical in terms of their capabilities almost overnight. We're seeing similar things happen with the likes of DALL-E, Midjourney with image generation, art, and so on. End-to-end video, that's the foundation, the building block of the same breakthrough with real-world AI. Capabilities are about to go full hockey stick, in my opinion.
We'll get to the robotic side of it, I think, later. To me, the most interesting side of this ties into what you were talking about, Andrew, and what it means for the labor market, or even how do you size this opportunity. And I was trying to think of, the right framework for it, because most things, it's pretty clear how to say what the addressable market is. So, for example, electric vehicles. You know how many people there are, how many other, petrol, gas vehicles are sold. So you kind of have a good estimate of what that market size can be. Then you look at autonomous robots and it's, okay, this is a little bit more complicated, or autonomous vehicles. And it's a little bit more complicated to size, right? You look at vehicle miles traveled. Tasha Keeney's done great work in saying, well, actually, if you lower the price, you induce demand. And so you're going to get more vehicle miles traveled, right? So it's a little bit more complicated. But then you look at something like an autonomous humanoid robot, and it's unclear to me what the actual total addressable market is if it can continue to gain human-like skills, right? Like, what is the addressable market for humans?
Some very important points have been raised here. We've discussed them before, but they bear repeating. Unlike just about every other product one can conceive of, whose total addressable market is a subset of people on Earth than how many either desire and or can afford and or could make use of and so on the product. There's a finite upper limit based on the population of Earth, and then of those people who actually have the means and the desire to buy said product. When trying to ascertain the potential market size of a useful humanoid robot that can contribute labor globally, it's close to impossible to have any f***ing idea. How big is this opportunity? Is there an upper limit? Now, obviously, once we start butting up against the laws of physics and the amount of energy and matter available in our local system, sure, there is a technical limit. But until we're talking Dyson spheres, bro, one way to think about this, and it's a very poor way, but hey, at least it's a starting point. Could we imagine there would be use for one humanoid robot per one human being on Earth today? I would say obviously. Just imagine if you had a robotic helper, an assistant, whatever, companion. Just imagine a 1-to-1 ratio of humans to humanoid robots. Makes a lot of sense. What about 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 10-to-1? That's one way to think about it. But another way, is there an upper limit to the amount of useful labor on Earth? And the answer to this question remains unknown. Once again, I just want to remind you folks, on screen right now, we're currently looking at inflation-adjusted world GDP over the last 2 millennia, currently in excess of $100 trillion US. But it's worth noting that it almost looks as if out of nowhere, practically yesterday, somebody pressed the go to the moon button and world GDP said, okay, to the moon I go. So what exactly happened? Well, the truth is, this is a consequence of two major factors. One, population growth. The number of people on Earth has been increasing substantially over the last 2,000 years. But in addition, technological innovation standing on the shoulders of giants. I'm not going to give you guys and girls a full history lesson, but I highly recommend if you guys are curious, do some homework and learn about technological innovations that have driven humanity forward. Since 1820, world GDP has increased roughly 100 times. And since the 1950s, about 10x. Anyone want to remind me when computers started to... Yeah, let's not go there. So the equation here is quite simple. Population times technological capabilities equals world GDP to the moon. A Tesla humanoid robot is a combination of those very two factors. Technology itself. Remember, the software will keep getting more capable over time. And labor, as in humans, as in useful labor contributing to global GDP. My best guess is if we extended this out another 2,000 years into the future, we basically have a straight line going vertical. World GDP eventually hitting 1 quadrillion, another 10x from where we are today, which is nothing. We've already seen 100x in the last give or take about 200 years. So 1 quadrillion will blow through that, then 10 quadrillion, then 100 quadrillion. No end in sight. I've yet to hear a compelling argument from anyone, except those manifesting obvious brain damage, as to why there's an arbitrary limit to this rate of GDP growth. We have evidence now over thousands of years showing that as humans can provide useful labor and as technology can amplify our output, our productivity, our efficiency, assisting us in doing more with less, we find ways to use that new ability, productivity, and labor to generate a more prosperous and abundant world. Are humanoid robots going to do for world GDP what the development of computers and communications technology did in the last 70 years? Good question, Stephen. I know.
Yeah, Sam, I have I saw an interesting tweet on how to maybe think about how the market develops, assuming you don't just get to AGI right off the bat. But someone, and I wish I could give them credit, but I don't remember who tweeted this out. So this is not my own thoughts, but I thought it was, really interesting way to look at how you can scale up or develop these humanoid robots. And if you think about, you're purchasing this robot, it ends up in your home, it can't come pre-installed with every skill you maybe want it to have, unless you do get to AGI, I assume. But if that is the case and you're not at AGI, you then have a skill market or, an app store for skills. So you download and pay for skills. And then you have a whole developer ecosystem training these humanoid robots in warehouses to do specific skills that maybe a consumer would want. So I think the example was, it's not going to come knowing how to create sushi for you, but if you want a sushi chef at home, maybe you download that skill and you pay a developer, X amount of dollars for it. And I thought that was an interesting way to think about how you could potentially size the market and think of it as maybe it's an app store type of economy that develops on top of a humanoid robot, and it's a direct monetization method on that, on those apps or skills. Which I thought, I don't know if it gets to answering your question of how exactly you'd size this market, but I think it is an interesting way to think about how it could develop.
Interesting concept. Who knows? Although not going to be useful in sizing the market. Again, all of these skills we heard, becoming a sushi chef and so on, these are just subsets of useful labor. And as Tesla's humanoid robots becomes increasingly more capable, generalized, broadly useful, every task a human being can do in the future, a humanoid robot, an intelligent humanoid robot, will also be capable of doing, and then eventually doing better and faster, and then significantly better and significantly faster, and then lots of things that we can't even do as humans, super intelligent humanoid robots will also be able to do. Prior to AGI, certainly there's going to be some things that the humanoid robot, the Tesla humanoid robot, is going to be super capable of doing, and others very poor, as I mentioned in the past. But it's only a matter of time until one by one, everything a human does, Tesla's Optimus Bot can do better. And how do you size the opportunity knowing that Optimus will be able to do things that today humans can't? We can't even conceive of some of the things Optimus will be capable of doing in the future. Shit is about to get real wild.
And I do think it's much easier to size the market in the near and medium term because, what I'm talking about is more, I guess, AGI side of things, right? Because even if it can just do a simple task in a factory, then that's great. It's probably pretty easy to show ROI, particularly if labor costs keep going up. Just having a reliable robot that can achieve a task is 24/7 without calling out sick is high value in and of itself.
Let's not forget, a humanoid robot, at least hopefully, isn't going to go on strike and demand it gets paid more than its already obscene compensation. Wait, wonder why I would mention that. That has nothing at all to do, by the way, with the current UAW strikes and the people who are currently f***ing around who unfortunately are going to find out. And by the way, quick shout out to a recent video I posted, the Model Y, quick assembly, click, bam, done. You remember that video? Incredible insights into how easy it is to put together today's Model Y, at least the China-made Model Y. Many of the comments on that video reflected my own. Think about how easy it will be for a humanoid robot to do this exact task. Some of the first use cases for Tesla's humanoid robot will be in their own automotive factories putting together vehicles. And when Tesla can internally demonstrate how useful and cost-efficient humanoid robots are in putting together vehicles in their own factories, bet your fucking bottom dollar other companies putting together vehicles are going to be banging on Tesla's door, begging to get their own Optimus Bots to help in their factories. But please don't tell that to the UAW workers currently striking, because their six-figure compensation isn't enough.
But yeah, we don't need to go too much in here. I did want to throw this in as a topic because it does. Andrew, thank you for sparking that. Any other thoughts here?
Well, I guess I would just say, with what money are people buying the apps or the robots? If all these jobs are
it's taken away,
right? As in, are the owners of the robot hardware and the AI software, are they essentially the new government?
Andrew, are you arguing that people aren't going to have jobs because of automation?
I don't know.
Have you not read Sam's work, Andrew?
I think that is a highly unlikely outcome, given human ingenuity and the history of the labor markets. I think if you're going to make that claim, there's a lot of arguing and evidence where I think the burden of proof is on that there won't be new jobs for humans.
Over the short term, where there's a relatively high degree of certainty that the capabilities of humanoid robots won't surpass humans instantly, obviously, there'll be jobs for humans. But it's obvious and inevitable over the long term. As AGI develops and a humanoid robot becomes better than a human at literally every single task any human on Earth has ever done and ever will do, it's not so obvious that there will still be any jobs left for humans at all. Unless out of pity. Well, I guess we could let you contribute even though you're really shit and slow and dumb and do a poor job versus a humanoid robot. But hey, if you need a job, Sure, why not? Now, I'm not predicting exactly when this happens, but it's inevitable at some point. The brain and the body of a humanoid robot will exceed human capabilities on every task. Then exactly what will humans do in terms of useful labour that couldn't be done better and faster and cheaper by a super intelligent humanoid robot? I'm open to ideas.
Okay. I just would like to better understand what those jobs will be, right? It's just even for like video game market sizing with Nick. Like I'm just trying to understand like if video game producers are 2x more productive, are they going to create two games as opposed to like one game per year, let's say? Or are they going to create a game that's double the quality, that's also double the price, or double the quality and actually the same price, right? And then that deflation just doesn't show up, right? And like, who is playing the game? Like all these different variables. And I think it's just very hard to understand when have we seen something that's like as clearly a productivity booster as AI like before?
Yeah. I
Like
think
in this short time of a frame, right?
Yeah,
It's
well,
interesting.
Go ahead, Nick. You go.
It's just
first.
interesting to think about how, as you create extremely cheap supply in when we're talking about DALL-E, ChatGPT, even these humanoid robots, as that cost decline just continues to crater in areas of the economy that have largely not seen this type of cost decline that we're probably going to be forecasting out. Where do you unlock that demand? To Andrew's point, if you are able to create 1,000 images a day because of DALL-E, how do you unlock demand for that, new supply that hits the market? Or does everything just become so cheap and abundant that, the market can't really support that type of supply? That's, I think, a really interesting question, because you are getting into areas when you're talking about AI where it's just mass abundance on a scale we've really never seen in areas of the economy that have largely been locked because it's powered by humans, and humans are limited in what they can produce a day.
This is absolutely spot on. Humanity is currently on the cusp of entering an era of abundance, then superabundance, and then hyperabundance, where the cost of energy falls to essentially zero. The cost of information is already essentially zero, so too communication. And importantly, the cost of useful labour will fall close to zero as well. Just ponder the implications when energy, information, communication, labour are all essentially zero cost, and all of these things are scaling exponentially. One thing's for sure, it ain't going to be boring.
Well, maybe I'll wrap this up. Is I think a history of automation is you take economic activity that's not captured by traditional metrics, I would say, or it's really not, it's labor that's not captured by the economy, and you bring it into the quote real paid economy. So you can think about driving. Millions of people are driving every day, half an hour to an hour, and they're going to work and no one's paying them. That's really not part of the economy. That's a lot of dead hours. And you say, okay, autonomous driving comes in. Why are people going to switch from driving themselves to autonomous? Because it's actually going to be less expensive for them to pay a service to do this. So then all of a sudden you have hundreds of millions of hours that were not captured in any way in the economy. I mean, some way, right? You're paying for fuel, gas, whatever. But now all of a sudden it's becoming part of the economy and it's being captured by the autonomous vehicles.
This is a good point. Now, a lot of people, you might notice, intuitively, they laugh at the idea that autonomy could unlock a Deca-Trillion opportunity, but that it will. Of course, a Deca-Trillion opportunity is going to look like a rounding error when compared to the impact of useful humanoid robots expanding and contributing to the global labour market. And I do mean that, by the way. 10, 12, 14 trillion dollar opportunity is going to look like a rounding error compared to the impact of an army of useful humanoid robots. Refer earlier to world GDP over time, currently around 10 trillion, on its way to 1 quadrillion per year, then 10 quadrillion, then 100 quadrillion, then a quintillion. Yes, I did just say that, quintillion dollars per year. If you live long enough, I look forward to reminding you guys that I called it decades early. And don't forget, I've posted an absolute arseload of exclusive content on Patreon today and to my Twitter subscribers, and plenty more scheduled in the pipeline. So if you don't want to miss out on anything, click the links in the pinned comment to join. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon. And don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.